Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making red velvet kiss cookies. So to start with, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees because these cookies have to cook for 10 to 12 minutes. And then we're going to line a baking sheet with some parchment paper. In a large bowl, you are going to add 7 tablespoons of butter, which has been softened, almost melted in the microwave. Then we're adding to this a half a cup of brown sugar. And then to that, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then we're going to use a mixer to mix this up and make it fluffy and get all of the clumps of brown sugar and everything incorporated into the butter. As you're doing this, make sure that you run your mixer all around the sides and the bottom to make sure you pull up all of the sugar that might be glued to the bottom of the bowl. And you can go ahead and mix this after you get everything kind of incorporated on like a medium to high to actually fluff this up a bit. Now to this, we are adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix that up a bit. And to this, we are adding 1 egg yolk. And go ahead and continue to mix. We want to make sure that we get everything incorporated in and all of the sides have been pulled into this a bit. And then when you get it completely mixed up, we are going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of red food coloring gel. This is what's going to give it that color that makes it look kind of reddish when you're making something like red velvet. Like if it were a cake or whatever, you need to add food coloring to it. And mix this up completely till everything is mixed through. So once we get this all mixed through, these are all the wet ingredients that we're putting in for the time. And then next we're going to work on our dry ingredients. So go ahead and scrape the side of your bowl, make sure everything is down into the mix, and that way nothing is stuck to the sides. Now we're going to add a cup of all-purpose flour. And go ahead and mix this into the wet mixture. Start out slow. We don't want to throw this all over the counter because trust me, I'm the king of throwing flour out of a bowl. But do it slowly, get it mixed in and get the whole mix going. You want to keep going with this until the whole mixture has pretty much turned red. Get as much in there as possible before we add the next ingredient, which at this point you are adding in 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. And then after that, you're going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to mix this all completely up. And make sure at this point anything stuck to the sides gets pulled through. We don't want to see white anywhere in this mix. So keep pulling it through. And just remember, the more you mix this, the more the red coloring is going to work its way through. As you go through, it's going to change considerably in color as you do this. Now remember, if you don't agree with how red your mix looks, you can always add more food coloring to it as you go. Sometimes when I get to a point in it, I add more myself just because of the fact that I want it to be redder. Now we're going to use some red sanding sugar, which you're going to use at least 1/4 of a cup, because what we're going to do is scoop out balls of this and we're going to roll it in the red sanding sugar before it goes onto the baking pan. So just scoop out and then take it over, drop it onto the sanding sugar and roll it around. So that way you make sure the whole outside of this is coated before it goes onto your baking pan. because once you actually go through and get all of your baking pan lined up, the last step is going to be baking these before you actually put the kisses on. The kisses will come later. They come after it comes out of the oven, after it's been in for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes to actually set up and cook. And once you have them on your pan like this, you're getting ready to go into the oven, which I said was 350 degrees from anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. And when they come back from the oven, then you're going to put the kisses on top. And here's the fun part. You got to unwrap all the kisses you use. So count your cookies, count your kisses, make sure they're ready to go for when this comes out. Because when it does come out, you're going to take the kisses and actually insert them into the cookies right after they come out of the oven. So you're going to push them down in, wiggle them a little bit to get them into the center. And then once you're done with this, you're going to let them sit. I give them about 10 minutes and then move them to a cooling rack then, so that way they have time to set up. You don't want to break the cookies in the process. And at this point, you're pretty much done. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. And these are a great treat, especially if you're doing something for Valentine's Day. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, I have a cookbook that's available on Amazon and bookstores worldwide. Please take a look and have a great day.